Hey.
Nice to meet you, Resistance GB here. I'm just here handing out a couple of these cards with a little bit of information on them. These are basically just a little bit of advice in case the police come after you. We can go through a couple of the things. Just some advice on arrest. So you can say no comment. Remember, you've got the right to remain silent. And this is from Green and Black Cross. So I'm not a lawyer myself. I'm just handing these out. They're a legal charity that help out protesters. They train legal observers as well to go along to protests. Just watch what happens if the police start being heavy-handed. Those people, because they don't participate and they're just observers, they can then come forward as witnesses of whatever crimes the Stasi have been committing. It gives you a little bit of advice on arrest, and it also has specific solicitors that you can go for who specialise in protest law. So rather than just have whatever duty solicitor the police give you. Okay.
So what's this? Yeah.
What is that? And that's just money.
So what is this? More about freedom to protest, or freedom of movement, or freedom of speech? What is this all on?
Well, you know what today is.
So they're getting an income every year of 296 million quid.
You know, the 11th is in a couple of days.
Yeah.
And this is the Sunday.
Oh yeah.
And no one cares. No one cares. Everything's all lip service. And frankly, millions of people died for our freedom. They died for our country to be free, to be scientific, to reason, to use evidence, and that's being taken away by a bunch of criminals. A bunch of criminals who couldn't care less for the law, for our constitution, the Magna Carta, the Bill of Rights. They don't care. They couldn't care less. The only law that they know is might makes right. And I'm not going to accept being tyrannised by a bunch of communist criminals. So if they want to come here and they want to try assaulting me, then I say good luck to them, because I will fight. Because this is my country. It's not a Soviet country. It's not their country. It's ours. It belongs to the English people. And we have a duty, not just to all the people who came before us, not just to all the people around us who may be disabled, can't stand up, like my nan, but all the people to come after us. If you've got children, why aren't you here? Why aren't you out fighting? And people say, oh, well, you know, I'm worried about my job, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. Do you really think there are going to be any jobs in 5 years? Do you think there's going to be anything in 5 years? Give it 2 years, what's there going to be? Stop being so fucking selfish. People went, they left their fucking jobs. They went to freeze in a ditch and get trench foot and get their limbs blown off. We have all of these monuments to the glorious dead, but what about the glorious living as well? Those who suffered every single moment of the rest of their lives with debilitating injuries, or the mental scars of it. Those who turned to drinking and their marriages fell apart. What about all of those people? So yeah, the glorious dead, the glorious living, the people around us, and all of posterity.
What do you think the end game is? What are they trying to achieve by all this lockdown and breaking up protests and
communism? Communism always has its own aristocracy. Communism is just another iteration of feudalism. Everyone is equal, but some are more equal than others. And that's the way it's always is, always going to be. Because communism takes power out of the hands of the people, of me to live my life and you to live your life, and it hands it to a bunch of absolute tyrants who tell you how to live your life, who tell me how to live my life, as if they know better. They know better than you how to live your life. They know better than me how to live my life. Why don't I take over your life? You know, why don't you give me, you know, why don't I take £100 out of your wallet, do your shopping for you? How's that going to go? Rubbish. Because I'll buy a whole load of stuff that I'm guessing you'll like. I don't know. I don't know how to live your life. I shouldn't be in charge of your life, and you shouldn't be in charge of mine. We should all rule ourselves. And that should be simple enough. That's liberalism. And all of these tyrants garb themselves in the cloak of liberalism, but they couldn't be more opposed to everything that it stands for. They will be the elite. They will be the aristocracy. They'll be the ones at all the champagne dinners, whilst the chain gangs are labouring in the fields. And that's what it will be, because that's what it always is. Socialism ends in communism, and communism ends in death camps.
So what's the answer?
Liberalism. Rebellion, revolution, civil disobedience. say that you will not consent to a bunch of criminals pushing you about. Fight back. We all have the right to defend ourselves. That's inherent. It's inalienable. Those are natural rights because they come from nature, not from a bureaucrat, not from some government or some regime, but from nature itself. And those are yours, those are mine, and no one can take them away justly.
Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
Resistance GB.
What was that?
Resistance GB.
Nice one.